everyone and welcome back to Mariana Math Books. My name is Mariana and today I am here with the first Essay Wednesday of the year. For today's Essay Wednesday I am going to share with you the essay The Empathy Exam by Leslie Jamison, which is part of her collection The Empathy Exams, which I haven't read, but I read her essay in Believer magazine. I will link the essay down below. This essay I read because it was recommended to me by my sister. As you know, I have certain health issues and so I go to the doctor a lot, and so I complain about doctors a lot. Every time that I complain about a doctor or a medical study or anything like that, my sister recommends me that I read the essay The Empathy Exam by Leslie Jamison because she talks about being a medical actor and what she has learned about empathy in medicine, in doctors, and the relationship between patients and doctors through that job of being a medical actor. If you don't know, I certainly didn't know, a medical actor is a person who acts as a patient so that medical students can practice with them. I don't know, practice diagnosing, practice in this specific case, practice empathy and compassion, which is something that I had never thought about how they need to practice it, but they do, and I'm thinking they don't practice enough, because honestly one of my main complaints about doctors is the lack of empathy that they show, but I'm not going to go into that. But anyway, so Leslie Jamison is a medical actor, and in this essay she talks about the experience of being a medical actor, and she parallels that experience with her real life experience with doctors when she had an abortion. So I guess content warnings for that. She talks about her abortion and the process about getting the abortion after a surgery that she had, and so she parallels her experience as a medical actor with her experiences as a patient, with her actual experience in life about being a patient, about having this relationship with doctors. She reflects on how the way that doctors learn empathy, how true or how useful is not the word, but you know how well it actually works in real life when you have a real life experience that requires empathy from a medical professional. So the first quote that I'm going to read to you is about precisely what it is to be a medical actor. And so it says, medical acting works like this. You get a script and a paper gown. You get $13.50 an hour. Our scripts are 10 to 12 pages long. They outline what's wrong with us, not just what hurts, but how to express it. They tell us how much to give away and when. We are supposed to unfurl the answers according to specific protocols. The scripts dig deep into our fictive lives, the ages of our children and the diseases of our parents, the name of our husbands, real estate and graphic design firms, the amount of weight we've lost in the past year, the amount of alcohol we drink each week. So as you see, they are giving a character and a backstory for that character and a script, a very specific script that they need to follow when they go to the checkups. Something that I have to specify is that the doctor knows that they are medical actors. It's not like they go and pretend to be an actual patient, there are specific sessions where these medical actors have their rounds with the medical students, and the medical students know that these are actors and that they are going to hand a checklist, as like when you go to a restaurant and they give you an evaluation so you can evaluate the service and the quality of the restaurant. In the same way, the medical actors are given a checklist that they have to hand to these medical students, to their teachers, so they can grade them according to the experiences of the medical actors. So the doctors know this when they are having their sessions. So for example, here it explains: once the 15-minute encounter has finished, the medical student leaves the room and I fill out an evaluation of his or her performance. The first part is a checklist. Which crucial pieces of information did he or she manage to elicit? Which ones did he or she leave uncovered? The second part of the evaluation covers affect. Checklist item 31 is generally acknowledged as the most important category. Voiced empathy for my situation or problem. We are instructed about the importance of this first word, voiced. It's not enough for someone to have a sympathetic manner or use a caring tone of voice. The students have to say the right words to get credit for compassion. I guess it makes sense because they have to learn compassion and empathy, but I found it jarring to read it like that they get graded and they get credit for compassion. There's this quote that also really struck me about, again, this same thing about viewing compassion and empathy as something that they are given credit for. It's something they're doing to get a grade, and you can see it here in this quote that says, between encounters we are given water, fruit, granola bars, and an endless supply of mints. We aren't supposed to exhaust the students with our bad breath and growling stomachs, the side effects of our actual bodies. And this is a quote that I really resonated with for the experiences that I've had with certain doctors. And I'm not generalizing here. I'm not saying all doctors are this way, but in my experience, most doctors suffer from this difficulty of not knowing how to be empathetic or compassionate. Here this quote shows that, and it says, some of them get irritated when I obey my script and refuse to make eye contact. I'm supposed to stay swaddled and numb. These irritated students take my averted gaze as a challenge. They never stop seeking my gaze. Wrestling me into eye contact is the way they maintain power, forcing me to acknowledge their requisite display of care. The word power says it all. There is a strange power dynamic between doctors and their patients. And then, as I said at the beginning, she parallels her experience as a medical actor with her experience during her abortion and what she learns about what she needed in terms of empathy and compassion. And this quote comes from that, where she is reflecting on what she actually needed. And it says, empathy isn't just remembering to say that must be really hard. It's figuring out how to bring difficulty into the light so it can be seen at all. Empathy isn't just listening. It's asking the questions whose answers need to be listened to. Empathy requires inquiry as much as imagination. Empathy requires knowing you know nothing. Powerful quote. Empathy requires knowing you know nothing. And I think one of the things that doctors have the hardest time with is admitting they don't know everything. So in general, it's a super interesting essay. As I said, I haven't read her entire collection, so I recommend going to the essay. I'm going to link it down below, and you can decide if after that you are compelled to read the whole collection or not. The collection is on my wish list, but it's not a priority for me at the moment. So I hope you found it interesting. As I said, I'm not making any promises as to when I'm doing other Essay Wednesday. But yeah, that will be all for today. I hope you have a good week. And in the meantime, I wish you happy reading.